Time check. It is the 2nd of January 2025. Firstly, I am going to ground myself because I feel a little bit like hyped up. I don't know why. So I'm just gonna ground myself so I can calm and I can talk from a space of calmness. So let me just bear with. Excuse me. I always do it as many times as I feel like I need to. So, I just want to talk about the challenges of navigating life as a human being when you're leaving all your trust and your faith in God, source, universe, spirit, again, whatever you want to call it. Just so you know where you stand in terms of how I use the words God, source, universe, higher power, the divine, higher self, whatever it is that you want to call it, right? For me, it is just a single source of energy. The purest and the lightest form of energy that we can connect to. That is what I'm referring to. Through my own experiences, I'm noticing myself going off topic, technically, but it's kind of part of it. But this is just me as a neurodivergent storyteller. If you're neurodivergent, I feel like you can relate in terms of how you do some storytelling. So you know where you stand with me. I just use those words interchangeably. Personally, I don't think that God is this white man up in the clouds that's got this beard and he's just sitting there. I don't think that that's what it is. I see God as this purest form of energy, the source of energy from where I came from. That is what I'm referring to, right? And I don't want to go into too much detail. We can talk about that another time. The purpose of this video today is I just want to talk about how difficult the challenges that you encounter as a human being as you navigate your way through life. While you have a lot of things on your plate, or while you have a lot of balls that you're juggling with, right? And leaving, as well as trusting God, trusting the universe, having faith in God and leaving it in God's hands. Between that and facing the real situations that you are dealing with right in front of you. And as I don't know, like, I think sometimes I get, because I'm noticing myself feeling tearful, but I think it's because I'm really passionate about it, and I think it's also partly because of the fact that I feel so strongly about this, because I've always had this knowing, but as I've gone through this journey of self-awareness, personal development, I've really come to a point where I'm noticing these wounded parts of me where my beliefs, my ideas, the things that I'm passionate about has been suppressed or dismissed or made fun of. And as I try to express my authentic ideas, my dreams, my passions, as I practice expressing that, it's like a past version of me is telling me in my head, it's like, thank you. Thank you for letting me express it. Because I never got to before. Just shake this energy off because... So yeah, I think I'm not really going to judge myself. We are embracing the fact that I am a highly emotional being, so I will just cry for whatever reason that is. And if you think that that's ridiculous, that's okay. But I'm embracing that part of me, right? I'm not shaming that. Anyways, so I just wanted to talk about the challenges, right? We face challenges in our everyday life, whatever that challenge looks like. And in terms of, as a human being who is navigating, my way through life, through this earth, trying to figure out where I fit in this society, what is my contribution to society, but I'm feeling so lost because my programming has taught me to not follow my dreams and not listen to my intuition and fit into a box, because this is what success looks like, this is what purpose looks like, this is what a wealthy, healthy lifestyle looks like. I've gone through my life where I followed whatever it is that everyone's been telling me to do because this is the structure. This is the structure. But my neurodivergent brain can tell you that I think differently. I do not fit in a box. I do not follow a set of rules. I cannot follow a structure. As much as I would like to, my brain doesn't work that way. My brain doesn't function that way. My brain functions in the most unique, beautiful way, but I have been just fitting myself, trying to fit myself into that box. My beliefs, my internal values, my programming, my conditioning has taught me to fit in a box, and because I haven't been able to fit in a box, I just keep breaking down. I keep breaking down. And the last mental breakdown I had has really taught me a lot. Though it hasn't taught me everything in one go, I think it's a gradual, it's like God's like giving me all this, like, that's it, Meg, it's breadcrumbs, like, you know, this is where you're going, this is the path, and I'm sorry that it was uncomfortable, and I'm sorry that you had to go through this way, but this is something that I'm showing you to help you become the person that you are meant to be. As someone who has been focused, who revisits the past, I've come to really learn. I know they say that don't stay in the past, and you know, you can't, the past is the past, and leave it at that, like there's nothing that you can do. But yes, there's something you can do about it. But if there's still something that feels unresolved and you cannot move forward, that is because there's something in there that you need to learn from. That's from my experience anyway. And I've been reflecting so much, and this last breakdown, I was like, I actually don't know, like that last breakdown changed me completely in so many ways. And I cannot help but talk about religion because it is something that I hold dearly in my heart. And it is something that's part of my being, that it's, you know, it's part of my conditioning, and it's my relationship with God is so personal, and it's just, I cannot help but talk about it. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm fighting with my mind again because there's a part of me that doesn't want to share it out of fear of what other people might think. But I'm overcoming that, right? I'm allowing myself to express myself without judgment. So I cannot help but talk about how this fits with spirituality. I am trying to see my experience as a soul who is having a human experience rather than a human being who has a soul, if that makes sense. So that's the lens that I'm seeing it through, right? When I'm practicing, I'm trying to integrate that into my being, and that's what I want to do, and I can't help but talk about it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm moving forward. I will always, if I haven't already anyways, I will always refer anything that I talk about, I will always refer that to spirituality and how that relates to me, because I feel that it's something, it's just part of what I'm meant to do, and I'm not gonna stop myself to do that, but yet I'm still talking and I'm literally blabbering. Okay. Right. Anyways, Christ, 17 minutes and I'm still I haven't gotten very far because I'm literally battling my mind trying to talk about this, but it's like, I'm feeling a lot of anger. I'm feeling a lot of anger bubbling up. I think this is a lot of, I'm feeling that this is a lot of anger that I've suppressed before and is coming up because I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just feeling ostracized, feeling that I cannot relate to anyone, especially in my family. I think it's feeling ostracized by my family. I don't think that they're doing it on purpose. I'm the one that's distancing myself from my family, but it's purely because I want to protect my mental well-being, my sanity, as I rediscover myself, as I go through this process of self-exploration, because I'm very fragile right now. I have a tough exterior, but at the same time, I don't think I can take it if any of my family members demonize, dismiss, villainize me or my beliefs, especially if it's something that I'm so passionate about. I don't think I can deal with that. So anybody else, I don't really care. Like, that's your opinion, that's fine. My family, oh fuck. Jeez. My days. Oh my god, stop. So, my family, I hold my family so dearly. And it's just a touchy subject for me, if you cannot tell already. So that's why I'm just, and it's a lonely path, but I now see that it's part of my journey. Actually, it's part of my journey to just spend a lot of time by myself at the moment. But I'm hearing God telling me that, you know, I'm finding the people that I'm meant to find, I'm meant to be with. I'm finding my soul family, right? Your relatives, your blood family, your blood related family is different to your soul family. And I just want to preface this because of toxic Filipino culture. I just want to say, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying they both exist at the same time and they both serve a purpose in a person's life. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And go back to the point. It's really challenging to navigate all of this experience, and sometimes it can be too many things going on at once and it can feel a bit overwhelming, where you might break down or you probably just bury your head in the sand and try not to look at it, or you'll start charging forward, but then you're not giving yourself time to rest and retreat and reflect. So this is what I've come to do. I'm coming to put it on the table and I suppose bring it forward to say that it's okay. It's okay for you to feel overwhelmed. It's okay for you to feel fear. It's okay for you to have anxieties. It's okay for you to feel sad. It's okay for you to feel angry. It's okay. I had a conversation recently with a family member and I speak about my anxiety and just feeling overwhelmed and all this kind of stuff, and finding it challenging to navigate life, basically, with the balls that I've been handed, with the, you know, with all this stuff that I've been put on my plate. And this family member well, I'm just gonna say this time, it's my mum. My mum, she was like, just pray to God and kind of, ushering me down that route. And I said, Mum, that's fine. Like, I'm praying to God. But what I'm trying to say is because I can see that she was trying to save me. She was trying to, in the best way that she possibly could, to try and help me and save me from my situation. But but she doesn't know how. So what she's doing is she's giving me advice. But the advice that she's giving me is to pray to God. And I snapped. I feel really bad. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. Okay, I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. I snapped at her. I feel bad about it and I've apologized to my mum about it. But I snapped at her and I was like, Mum, I don't need your advice. Frankly, I need my mum to listen to me right now. If I want advice, I will ask for advice. Because it was a lot of going back and forth, and she was like, yeah, I'm just giving advice, and just expressing all this kind of stuff. I was like, you don't need to tell me to pray to God. I don't need that reminder. And people can take this the wrong way, but what I'm trying to say is that it's been embedded in my mind, it's been embedded into my being to pray to God every day, to talk to God. That's what the community that I grew up in is always centered around God, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm here to bring you down, because not necessarily in a negative way, in terms of bring you down and ground you, to say that you are also having a human experience, and that human experience that you're having is so real, so gut-wrenching, so soul-crushing sometimes. But you can't use God as an escapism, as a way to escape from your emotions, to just put them aside, to suppress them. You can't do that, because I said to my mum, I was like, Mum, this is what you've been telling me this all my life. I don't need to know that. I just need my mum to listen to me right now with what I'm trying to say. Because then my mum then goes to say, like, when she prays and she has her own worries, she always prays to God, and that alleviates everything, which is great. That's fantastic. And I think that praying is absolutely a great way to speak to God and to help release the anxiety. But at the same time, you are not looking at your psychology. You are not looking at the problem. Why are you anxious? That is something that you need to address. That is something that you have to see. That is something that you have to process. And yes, while God can help you with that, you have to do the work yourself as well. You have to do the work in terms of unraveling your mind, unraveling all that conditioning. There is a reason for that. And this is why, this is the community that I grew up in, the religion that I grew up in, is just, the society that I grew up in is just so quick to demonize your human experience, by the way. When people are depressed, when people are at the brink of life and death, through whether it's their own choice or not, or when people are going through these situations, these challenges, when people are going through this very real human experience, sometimes that can be so difficult that you forget about God. You forget about source. You forget that there's an extension of you, the purest form of energy, a higher power, your divinity. People forget that, and that is what religion is. That is what, that's where they're coming from in terms of bring God into it. But also at the same time, is what they're doing is that, yes, bring God into it, but you're not addressing yourself. You're not coming back down. You're up here. You're using God and your religion as a form of escapism. Is a codependency. My religion just taught me to just pray to God, to talk to God. That's it. Well, that's good. That is a practice that you need to know. I wasn't taught to listen to God. I wasn't taught to look out and observe my surroundings, to try and see what God is showing me, how to interpret God's message, how to interpret the universe's way of speaking to you. Because no one knew. No one knows, because this is a much bigger topic, but it's just been passed down to the generations, and that's what we're forgetting. We're forgetting to listen to God. How do you listen? Read the Bible. Okay, but outside of the Bible, how else do you listen to God? How else do you see do you see the ways God communicating to you? Because God can not only communicate to you through the Bible, he communicates to you in so many different ways. Through your surroundings, through the people around you. I say this because I'm not sure if I've said this before, but if I'm completely honest, I don't read the Bible every day. That's not because I don't want to, but it's just because I don't know what it is. I find it challenging to just to read the Bible. I read the Bible when I feel drawn into it, drawn to read it. It just doesn't work. And I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she was like, I struggle to read the Bible because I think I'm dyslexic. And for people, right, for people who have dyslexia, for people who struggle to read, firstly, how do you expect them to read the Bible? How do you then think that God is not talking to them then? Do you then think that God has just forsaken them because they can't read the Bible? No. God will find ways to speak to you. God will find ways to connect to you, to communicate to you. I read the Bible when I feel called to read the Bible, and I'm not going to force myself, and I'm not going to put myself down because I don't read the Bible every day. There's not just one form of communication. There isn't just one form of language. There's hundreds, there's millions of ways to communicate. Just as the same that you cannot just communicate to someone verbally, you can look at someone and you can read their body language, but also at the same time, that's your physicality, right? That's what you can hear, that's what you can see. But we also communicate energetically as well. That's something that we cannot see. The purpose of this video is because I just want to well, that's what needed to come out really. But also, I'm just here to say that it's okay. Whatever it is that you're facing right now, whatever it is that you are dealing with right now, whatever it is that you are shouldering right now, whatever it is that you're holding right now, I'm just here to tell you that it's going to be okay. Because you're not alone in this. And it's okay to feel. It's okay. There are ways to express your feelings, right? Where happiness, joy, sadness, anger. There are ways to express that. And when I talk about expressing anger, I do not mean violence. I do not mean aggression. That's not what I meant. There are many ways that you can transmute anger, such as banging weights at the gym, or going for a run, or painting, or boxing, or doing some form of movement, martial arts, whatever way it is to expel that energy from your body without affecting other people. Because the reason why we are here on this planet is to fully experience the full spectrum of our human emotions, no matter how weak or strong those emotions are. Fully experience them, not being afraid by what that is. Yeah. Going back to control your controllables. And whatever it is that you cannot control, surrender it to God. Surrender it to the universe. Just leave it there and do whatever it is that you can to do it yourself. And that means looking at your mind, looking at your psychology, looking at how your brain works, what thought patterns you have, looking at your behaviors, the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you interact with other people, situations, things, emotions. Especially emotions. Observing all of those, being curious about it. we got there in the end. So I think that's what it is. It can be challenging, but you'll be fine. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. I wish you the best, and I shall see you on my next video. Ride the waves. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. Give yourself grace. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna go. So see you later. Bye. Okay. I am going off topic again. Oh my god. Okay. Right. I say all this to say. I lost my train of thought. Oh, you know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. It's frustrating that I go off track and I lose where I am. But also at the same time, I'm embracing my ADHD, I'm embracing my neurodivergence. And I'm learning to express that. But it's just frustrating because I had a point and I'm losing it. I keep losing it. Okay, let's calm myself again.